in this conversation about dating, we're more so looking at like the discernment aspect
Yeah.
of like what qualities you're looking for, how to seek, how you'll be able to sense like God's peace and kind of like blessing over your relationship, or like what does a lack of peace allude
Hmm.
to, right? Like just all different pieces of like bringing in an accountability team, like getting to know that person in a community. Like there's so much that we can talk about. So we might even break
Hmm.
it up into a part three. Stay
Well,
tuned because yeah, there's
yeah.
so much that we could unpack, and we want to unpack. We don't want to just like brush this topic off to the side and be like,
Hmm.
and we're done about that, because there's so much to say.
Yeah. And if you like have a question or something pops up like as you're watching either the single episode or this episode, like just leave it in the comments and
Right.
reach out to us, and maybe that's something that we could like address
Hmm.
upcoming. But like you said, there's so much that we can talk about on
Yeah.
this topic, but like we want to use the Bible's like principles and like wisdom and knowledge to help us in that process, because it
Exactly.
doesn't talk about dating, but the Bible does talk a lot about relationships,
Mhm.
people who we want to be with, how we
Mhm.
want to be a good like friend
Yeah.
and brother and sister and all of
Yeah.
those things. Like the
Exactly.
Bible tells us like how to live like Jesus,
Mhm.
and how and in that like we want to be with someone who is also living the same way.
Yeah.
um so I think that's kind of where we can apply these principles into dating, and then marriage is pretty covered in the
Yeah.
Bible.